I am aware of a gay stereotype, and I'm not trying to make myself sound, too understanding here, but I don't know if I subscribe just to a gay stereotype. I'm not friends with a lot of lesbian women. As far as that goes. But I'm friends with a lot of gay men, and they come in so many flavors. So, I think I'm aware of the stereotype, the glitter-wearing, well-dressed man, with a flighty voice. I think that's definitely the most predominant stereotype. It doesn't line up with the people that I know,
I think that my predominant stereotype of homosexuality would probably be, I don't know, I have to really invest myself in this one, otherwise I'd feel like I'd be answering unfairly. But I think it comes down to a sense of vocal or tonality in the voice, and that's typically something that I would center on male homosexuals. So I'd say that that's my most prevalent, is that there's a certain feminine quality or effeminate quality to their voice, that they would tone it in a way that was feminine, and that would be my most prevalent stereotype for me personally. I think that is reflected in the mainstream media. It definitely is something that's prevalent across the board. Whether or not I think that, the problem is that a stereotype is always based on something that is typically, a truism, even if it's not an altruism. So it's hard for me to say, when is that really a stereotype, because in a large sense it is something that happens and that is prevalent in the gay culture. So I think that while I may stereotype a man with a feminine voice and may perceive him to be gay even if he is not, is where it becomes a stereotype and ceases to be something that would be a norm.
In my personal experience, gay males have trouble holding down solid relationships for long-term periods, and it's not that they're promiscuous, it's serial monogamy. It's not promiscuity at all. As far as lesbians, they actually tend towards more as the cultural stereotype of gay males. Not so much serial monogamy as just completely open relationships. Not fucking around necessarily, but just being out there sexually and loving their bodies enough that they feel comfortable doing that, and it's not negative at all to be sexually active with many people, as long as you're safe and as long as you're honest with your partner or partners. Whereas in popular culture, queer as folk, the L word, Showtime has, at the same time, both helped and harmed the sexual stereotype of gays and lesbians. I watched maybe 6 or 7 consecutive episodes of Queer as Folk, and there was not really one relationship that lasted more than an episode, consecutively. They probably would come back to the same person but didn't leave. And the L word is the same way. And I think that it can be very detrimental, but at the same time it's accurate as to what physically happens, but not accurate as to why or how. And I think that that's a very important distinction that needs to be made for mainstream America, meaning heteronormative, to see. And I think that it's very harmful in the general sense that that's how people are seen.
My gay stereotype is a lesbian stereotype. I think of short hair, really funky, maybe a little faux hot going on, but very sort of feminine features, like carved cheekbones, everything is worked so that it plays that off. A sports bra, it's obvious that she's wearing a sports bra because she's wearing a tight dress shirt and like designer jeans and then Vans or something, and she looks so cool. And I've seen lesbians who pull their pants down to the point where you can see their boxers. Like, it's a little absurd. I think fewer people would think of lesbian women before they thought of gay men, because Christian Soriano is out there saying that things are so fierce, and Carson Kressley is telling women how to look good naked, as opposed to, Ellen DeGeneres is really the only person out there offering a lesbian stereotype on a regular celebrity exposure basis. And while I think that she plays it up very well, I would be less likely to stereotype a gay man than a gay woman.
I think the main gay stereotype I see is Jack from Will and Grace and the characters from To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, out of drag. Or Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, out of drag. They are the flamers, the queens, the people who you walk down the street and you know they're gay. Which I think the media loves, and people love to put that in and make actors play that part because it makes them different. It sets them aside from who everyone else in the storyline is. So you've got the people who are normal, and then this one person who's totally different. And I think that's why the media loves it, because it's so easy to set them apart. And I think that deconstructing it is understanding that someone doesn't have to be, hi, you know, it's horrible to say, but someone doesn't have to be flaming or really out or really to be, you know, any sort of average gay person. And, you know, and just knowing the difference that not every person is like that, and that there's nothing wrong with being like that, but that it's not the rule. You know, it's not the standard to set upon, it's not the, this is how we have to have it. It's bigger than that. It's someone being someone who they are, not what society wants them to be.